welcome to our channel Quantum Edge Media. We are a beacon for the latest updates, live broadcasts, and informative content from around the world. We collaborate with diverse businesses and communities, shedding light on their stories, innovations, and events. Nothing in this show should be considered as legal, medical, or financial advice. The information we provide is only for entertainment purpose. You should do your own research and consult with professionals.
Remember that time a few years back when everyone was freaking out about hackers getting their hands on people's credit card numbers? Well, buckle up, because what's happening now makes that look like child's play. We're talking about a massive cyber attack, the likes of which we haven't seen before, and the targets are some of the biggest telecommunications companies in America. These aren't just your run-of-the-mill hackers trying to make a quick buck. This is espionage on a grand scale. They're after something much more valuable than your credit card details. They want information, and they're willing to go to extraordinary lengths to get it. What makes this attack so concerning is its scope and duration. We're talking about months of sustained access to sensitive data, and the full extent of the damage is still unknown. This isn't just a temporary glitch, it's a systemic failure that exposes the vulnerabilities of our digital infrastructure. And here's the kicker, this attack is still ongoing. That's right, as you're watching this, hackers could be listening in on phone calls, reading text messages, and accessing confidential data. It's enough to make you want to throw your phone in the nearest river and retreat to a life of Luddite solitude. But before you ditch your smartphone and invest in carrier pigeons, let's talk about what you can do to protect yourself. Okay, so some hackers on the other side of the world have gotten their hands on your phone number. Big whoop, right? It's not like they've stolen your identity or drained your bank account. Or have they? You see, in this age of digital interconnectedness, your phone number is the key to a treasure trove of personal information. Think about it. Your phone number is linked to your email accounts, social media profiles, online shopping accounts, and even your bank accounts. With access to your phone number, hackers can easily bypass security measures like two-factor authentication and gain access to your most sensitive data. But it's not just your personal information that's at risk. The hackers also targeted systems used for compliance with something called CALIA, the Communications Assistance for Law Enforcement Act. This law allows law enforcement and intelligence agencies to track people's communications with a court order. Now I know what you're thinking. I've got nothing to hide, so why should I care? Well, here's the thing about mass surveillance. It's a slippery slope. Today it's terrorists and criminals, but tomorrow, it could be anyone who dares to criticize the government or express an unpopular opinion. And let's not forget the sheer incompetence of some of these government agencies. Remember that time the NSA lost track of 500 million cell phone location records? Or when the CIA accidentally left the keys to their secret hacking tools on a public server? Do you really want those clowns having unfettered access to your personal information? Alright, I've sufficiently scared you, now let's talk solutions. Believe it or not, there's a shockingly easy way to shield yourself from these digital snoops encrypted messaging apps. I'm talking about apps like the new encrypted Quantum Edge Decentralized Autonomous Organization app, Signal, WhatsApp, and even Apple's iMessage. Now I know what you're thinking. John, I can barely operate the remote, how am I supposed to figure out encryption? Relax, it's not as complicated as it sounds. These apps scramble your messages so that only the person you're talking to can read them. Think of it like sending a postcard in a lockbox. Only the person with the key can see what's inside. But wait, there's more. These apps also offer features like disappearing messages, which self-destruct after a certain amount of time, and end-to-end encryption for voice and video calls. It's like having your own personal cone of digital silence, where you can communicate freely without Big Brother listening in. And the best part? Most of these apps are free to use. That's right, you can have military-grade encryption without spending a dime. So ditch those clunky old text messages and embrace the future of private communication. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Look, I get it, it's easy to feel powerless in the face of such a massive security breach. But here's the thing, we don't have to just accept this as the new normal. We can demand better from our government and the companies we entrust with our data. We need to hold telecommunications companies accountable for their lax security practices. We need to push for stronger regulations and oversight to prevent these kinds of attacks from happening again. And we need to have a serious conversation about the trade-offs between national security and personal privacy. But it's not just up to the powers that be. We all have a role to play in protecting ourselves and our data, so take the time to learn about online security best practices. Enable two-factor authentication on all your accounts. Be wary of phishing scams. And for the love of all that is holy, stop using password 123 for every single password. The fight for digital privacy is a marathon, not a sprint. But with a little vigilance and a healthy dose of skepticism, we can take back control of our data and ensure that our digital lives are truly our own. And remember, if you see something, say something. Unless you're talking about your deepest, darkest secrets. In that case, stick to encrypted messaging apps. The Quantum Edge Decentralized Autonomous Organization app is the best one out of any competition.